All right, listen up, because I'm only gonna tell this story once. You think you've got it tough? You think you face rejection, ridicule, and the cold, hard slap of betrayal? Let me spin you a yarn that'll make your spine tingle and your heart pound like a kick drum. This is the tale of how I, Emma Hartley, turned the tables on the world that spat me out like a rotten seed. It all started with a bang. A fucking explosive revelation that tore my family apart. I was just a kid. Wide-eyed and full of dreams, working in the family timber business. I thought we were building something beautiful, something that would last. But then I found out the truth. The toxic chemicals, the illegal clear-cutting, the bribes, and the lies. My family's legacy was a rotting corpse, and I was the one who pulled back the shroud. I confronted them, my voice shaking, but my resolve unbreakable. This isn't right, I said. We can't keep doing this. It's killing the land, and it's killing us. Their response? Laughter. Cold, cruel laughter that cut deeper than any knife. You're a fool, Emma, my uncle spat. A traitor. You're dead to us. And just like that, I was cast out, branded a pariah. But I didn't crumble. No, I stood tall, even as the weight of their betrayal crushed my heart. I knew I had to do something to prove that their lies and corruption weren't the only way. So, I turned to the one thing that had always brought me solace, the earth. I started small, in the cracks and crevices of the city. Derelict lots, abandoned parks, even rooftops. I planted seeds, nurtured saplings, and coaxed life from the concrete jungle. I was ridiculed, of course. Hippie nonsense, they called it. A waste of time. But I didn't listen. I couldn't, because I knew deep in my bones that this was my path. This was my redemption. The first few years were a struggle. I was alone, isolated, and constantly battling the elements and the naysayers. But I was also alive, truly alive for the first time in my life. I was fighting for something worth fighting for, and that made all the difference. I started with a single lot, a patch of barren earth in the heart of the city. I planted fruit trees, vegetables, and herbs, creating a lush, green oasis where once there was only dust and decay. People started to take notice, at first with curiosity, then with awe. They saw the beauty, the abundance, the sheer defiance of it all. And they wanted it for themselves. Word spread, and soon I was inundated with requests. People wanted their own food forests, their own green sanctuaries. They wanted to learn, to grow, to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And so I taught them. I showed them how to coax life from the land, how to heal the earth and nourish their souls. But my family, they didn't see it. They didn't see the beauty, the abundance, the hope. All they saw was a traitor, a fool, a disgrace, and they made sure I knew it. Every time I saw them, every time I heard their voices, it was like a knife to the heart. But I didn't let it break me. No, I let it fuel me, let it drive me to prove them wrong. And prove them wrong, I did. My green oases became a movement, a revolution. Cities across the country were transforming, turning from gray concrete jungles into lush, verdant paradises. And at the heart of it all was me, Emma Hartley, the traitor, the fool, the disgrace. Years passed, and I returned home a changed woman. I stood before my family, my head held high, my heart open and unashamed. I showed them the photos, the videos, the testimonials. I showed them the truth of what I had done, of what I had become. And I watched as their faces fell, as the weight of their betrayal crashed down upon them. Look at this, I said, my voice steady and sure. Look at what I've done. Look at what you tried to destroy. This is my legacy, my redemption, and it's all because of you. They were silent, their eyes wide with shock and disbelief. They had underestimated me, underestimated the power of my dreams, the strength of my convictions. And now they were paying the price. But I didn't gloat. I didn't revel in their discomfort. Because this wasn't about revenge, about making them suffer. This was about forgiveness, about healing, about moving forward. This was about showing them. But I also made them see, made them understand the power of their words, the weight of their actions. I made them see the beauty of the world they had tried to destroy, the hope that they had tried to extinguish. And in doing so, I gave them a chance to change, to grow, to become something more. And that, my friends, is the power of redemption. That is the power of forgiveness. That is the power of believing in yourself, even when the world tells you to give up, to give in, to surrender. Because I did. I believed in myself even when no one else did. And look at me now. So, if you're out there, if you're struggling, if you're fighting against the tide, know this. You are not alone. You are not a fool, a traitor, a disgrace. You are a warrior, a dreamer, a believer, and you have the power to change the world, to heal the earth, to nourish your soul. All you have to do is believe. And if you ever find yourself face to face with the demons of your past, remember this. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your strength. It is not a surrender, but a victory. It is not a betrayal, but a redemption. And it is the most powerful weapon you will ever wield. So stand tall, my friends. Stand tall and believe, because the world needs you, because the earth needs you, because you, yes you, have the power to change everything. And I, for one, can't wait to see the world you'll create.